Khamil Pierre, the leading rebounder in the nation. And the opening tip is controlled by NC State in the white, Cal in the blue and gold. 10-4 on the season, 3-0 in conference play for the Pack. They are 5-2 at home and 2-0 in the conference on their home floor.
And Miracle Shepherd getting that start again in the point guard position. Remember, Puff Morris out with injury, did not travel with them. It's a different team with Shepherd at the point, but I thought she did a tremendous job against UNC.
Lower leg injury for Morris has kept her out of the last 2 games. In fact, she did not make the trip to North Carolina as Cal played at North Carolina earlier this week. That pass deflected, kept alive by the Pack. Samuels driving and scoring for NC State.
NC State spreading out the offense, makes it difficult to defend off the dribble. Samuels does an excellent job getting to the rim.
Transfer from UConn, spent 2 years in that program for the junior Samuels. 5 points, 7 rebounds in the win against Stanford on Thursday for NC State. Pass on the inside, Walker gets it to fall.
Well, immediately you see the great hands of Sakima Walker. That was a ball that could have gone out of bounds had she not secured it and put it right up.
She spent her last 2 years in the South Carolina program, national champs in 2024, and in the national finals last year, 2025. Little follow away with some flair. It's Pierre.
I like this game, and this matchup I think is going to be huge inside. Walker against Pierre. Pierre almost could have picked up a foul on that defense. She gets the rebound though instead.
Pierre with such a smooth little fall away, a cool breeze in the lane for NC State.
No Tilda Trieger. She's out with illness for NC State, so the majority of the interior game will fall on Cox and Pierre.
And Trieger had a double-double last year at Cal in the losing effort for NC State. It went deep into the shot clock. The ball bounced around right to Zoe Brooks.
And that's hard for Sharman Smith to see. Just mishandling that rebound turns into 2 easy points for Zoe Brooks.
7th season for Sharman Smith on that Cal bench. She's been a coach at Cal for 19 years. On the weak side, it's Jones. They played in the NCAA tournament a season ago. Brooks. And she was bumped on the way up by Twidale, her first personal foul as we play in the first quarter. Coach Smith recently got a contract extension out to 29-30. And really last year with 25 wins, NCAA tournament for the first time since 2019, a spectacular year for Cal in their first year in the ACC.
Yeah, well-deserved contract extension for a fabulous player and coach. And she's got a young and inexperienced probably team, I should say, with a lot of new pieces. Only Lulu Twidale comes back from that starting lineup last year. As you said, that team went to the NCAA tournament. That was a team, Tom, that could shoot the lights out from downtown. Twidale trying to get that going again, but they have not had that consistency this year.
They made 297 threes last year. That was a school record. Brooks the steal. One-person fast break, and she lays it in with the right.
And here's where Cal wants to get going a little bit in the transition game, even off of makes and miss. Coach Sharman telling me she would love to see her team play with some pace against NC State.
Cal lost in the first round of that NCAA tournament a season ago to Mississippi State. They get a bucket on the drive. That is Maul. NC State defeating Stanford on K-Yao court on Thursday, 74-46, and a foul is called. Cameron Inouye, Mark Resch, Meadow Overstreet are officials, and there is the head coach of the Wolfpack. Wes Moore, 13th season, gave us a classic line at our meeting today at the shoot-around. He said, some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield. You want to be the windshield whenever you can, Kelly Dale.
Yeah, he's starting out that way. I mean, getting some good shots early, the right people in the right positions to score.
Wes Moore, 13th year as the head coach at NC State. 37th year overall. He is approaching 900 career victories.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He's in a class with very few other coaches in terms of his winning percentage, winning numbers. He wins everywhere he goes. I remember him at UTC, right? One of those mid-major teams that you never wanted to play come NCAA tournament time because he'd get a win.
He was the 6-time Coach of the Year in the Southern Conference at Chattanooga. Twidale denied on the drive. The ball goes out of bounds. It will be NC State basketball. Final Four a couple of years ago for this NC State program, second in school history. And from 20 to 22, 3 years in a row, ACC tournament champs. Remember that first year when they won 28 games in 2020, they could not go to the tournament. It was canceled because of COVID. Turnaround, Samuels, basket and foul. Shepard picked up the foul.
What an excellent move on the block. Comes across into that low post position, fakes one way, turns over to the left shoulder, puts it in with contact.
NC State as a team, 70% from the free throw line. That's right in the middle of the conference. 8th in the ACC. Twidale has an open lane. Alley to the rim, and she lays it in.
Lulu Twidale can take over the game when she wants. Putting the ball on the floor, finding people to get the ball to, shooting the 3-ball. She's an excellent player.
Brooks. Shot may have been deflected. And a foul coming against the Wolfpack. It's going to be the first possession so far in the game where they have not scored.
Well, Lulu Twidale is known as that 3-point shooter, so you got to respect the shot. Zoe Brooks comes out, and she beats her off the dribble to go all the way to the rim.
She made 94 3-pointers last year, second best in the ACC, and second most in a season in school history. She's got 29 made so far this season to lead the way from 3-point distance for the Cal Golden Bears. Twidale! I mean, that is right on cue.
Right on cue.
I mean, come on.
I asked Charmin Smith, what does she like most about her game and what does she want to see improved? And she said, it's the same answer. I love her 3-point shot, but this year she hasn't been able to put it down more consistently, so that's what I'd love to see a little bit more of. This is a good start for Twidale.
And remember the game at North Carolina, she was just 1 of 6 on 3-pointers, so she's watching that ball go through the net here in the first quarter from 3-point distance, and the shot clock's at 5. Jones trying to beat the clock. She gave it up to Samuels. Maul runs it up. That was deflected by Pierre, hustling back defensively. And when we come back, Cal will have the basketball. NC State has the lead on the CW.
Allowed Stanford just 23% field goal in that second half, scored just 20 points. So the defense has been spectacular. We've seen that early on. Tips, deflections, steals, even in this one against Cal.
Meadow Overstreet just came over to our broadcast position, said they added 4 seconds to the game clock. Off the inbounds for Cal, and they cash in. That's Maul.
Yeah,
she's got 4.
You love that off the timeout. Great play run up by Cal. Easy look at the bucket by Maul.
Gisela Maul, the junior from Cedar Park, Texas. It's a 7-0 run for Cal. And a 2-point game. Samuels from the corner. Right to Twidale. Cal had a 2-point lead in their game at North Carolina at the half, and they've got a 3 out of the corner. Thank you very much, Taylor Barnes.
They started down against UNC 9-0. Charmin Smith called a timeout, and the game absolutely changed from there. It's looking a little like that early on after this timeout as well.
Maddie Cox was on the offensive glass, and Pierre finishes off the play. 1-point lead for NC State.
I think Cal needs to play through Walker a little bit more. I know that Maul has had the open 3, Twidale as well, but their offense looks better when they can get a touch in the paint.
This is Barnes, who just hit the 3. There's Walker near the free throw line. Jones came away with it. Averages just over 14 points per game. First on the team, 11th in the ACC. Pierre show and go on the kick. Brooks, 3-ball. Walker volleyballed it off to Stanchion near the backboard, bottom of it. It's going to be out of bounds to Cal.
And with Walker exiting the game right now, that's a benefit to NC State. They've got to pay attention, get Pierre the ball inside, let her go to work.
So Walker on the bench has 2 points. Foul on the drive from Barnes. And that'll be Maddie Cox picking up her first personal foul.
Maddie Cox, of course, getting the start in place of Tilda Trieger, who's out with illness. But I'll tell you what, watching her last game, she deserved this start. She has been playing some inspired basketball.
The fastest growing cable news network in all of television is News Nation. News Nation respects all Americans and is news for all Americans. To find News Nation on your screen, go to newsnationnow.com. As a team, Cal 67% from the free throw line. That is 14th in the ACC. We'll keep an eye on that. Pierre off the feed. Maul grabs it. And now NC State just one of its last 7 from the floor. At the other end, stepping around the defender, Ojukwu.
That's exactly what Coach Smith was wanting from her team. That time, Ojukwu runs the floor, gets the payout from Twidale.
Closing in on the 2-minute mark of our first quarter. Jones, Pierre, collaboration for 2.
And that's the right look. Pierre in that short corner position only takes her one dribble going up against the double team to put it in.
7 points. Khamil Pierre, the junior from Phoenix, Arizona. At the other end, off the backboard and in, offensive foul is called. Ojukwu on the inside, and her first.
Great look inside, but Cox there in position, feet set. And they're going to say, Ojukwu, too much body.
Coach Smith with a conversation with Mark Resch in the aftermath of that play by Maddie Cox to get in position. Veteran presence, playing in her 81st collegiate game. Jones off the curl. It's money.
They do such a good job, whether it's the pick and roll or the screen away from the ball, to use the screener and get open. That's what Zam Jones does so well. She's patient in the offense.
10 points, 5 boards in the game against Stanford. Did not make a three-pointer. Had the last bucket for NC State. And coming into the game and making an impact, Ojukwu.
How about that? Back-to-back buckets.
And a bucket at the other end for NC State. Samuels has got 6.
She only had 5 in that game against Stanford already. Outperforming herself. She's playing with confidence.
And above her season average of 5.4 points per game, and she makes the play underneath her own bucket. Jones, globetrotter dribbling.
She's fun to watch.
Final 45 seconds of the first quarter. Pierre, difficult shot, did not get the bounce. Cox fighting underneath, and it's Barnes who comes away with it. About a 10-second difference, game and shot. Shepard lets the clock wind down. Brooks almost had the steal. Twidale, stop and start. Nice move, couldn't finish it off. Cox grabs it, trying to beat the clock. Samuels. Brooks into traffic. They've got to shoot it and they won't get it away.
Wes Moore fired up on the sideline. Wanted a better look at home, though, in that Pacific Coast time zone. But could they come up with a victory today with a little help from Sakima Walker? Good help.
Walker's got 4 points. Last year, the teams played early January. That was at Cal as they produced the turnover in a 78-71 win. Both teams were ranked in the top 25 at the time, and back the other way is Taylor Barnes.
Cal shooting over 60% from the field right now. Everything they are putting up is going in. They're in sync.
Brooks does not get the bounce. Cal did turn it over 5 times in the first quarter. That produced 8 points for NC State, which had a 1-point lead. All of a sudden, you turn around, second quarter, early stages, Cal by 3.
And they're doing it on the glass, Tom, leading NC State right now 13-6. But turning it over a few too many times. That's the 6th turnover by Cal.
Both teams up over 50% shooting in that first quarter. Opening moments of the second quarter, so glad that you're with us. Tom Wormy, Killadale, our outstanding CW ACC women's basketball production crew. Samuels lines it up, can't knock it down. Batted around, out of bounds, and it will be Golden Bear basketball. Pierre leads the way right now for NC State with 7 points. Got a CW courtside Saturday men's doubleheader coming up next week. CW, your place on Saturday and Sunday for ACC men's and women's basketball. Barnes catch and release. Weak side Brooks. Jones. 3 to match the jersey. Killadale, we're tied at 24 in the second quarter.
That's a big 3. You felt the momentum on Cal's side. They're shooting, they're rebounding, everything going well for them, but no surprise, Zam Jones steps up with a big 3.
And the first 3 made in the game for NC State and head coach Wes Moore. A 3 at the other end for Cal. It's Twidale.
Great answer. That's exactly what Cal needs. We talked early on about Cal needing to play a full 40 minutes. They could not back down, can't take breaks. Cal just keeping the foot on the gas in this one.
Twidale has 2 made 3s. She now has 31 for the season to lead Cal in that category. Shot clock is down to 8. Drive for Brooks. Foul called.
Zam Jones, one of our players to watch in this one, knocks down the 3. And how about the second player to watch on Cal's team? Lulu Twidale with an answer of her own.
And you saw Lola Donez into the game, number 7, who set the screen there, or number 5 rather, who set the screen to free up that 3-pointer in the corner from Twidale. Brooks at the free throw line. So Donez is in there for Cal. Brooks at the line, 73% of the season, 1 of 2. Zoe Brooks, the junior from Plainfield, New Jersey. 47 straight starts, 87th game at NC State. Second chance opportunity. It bounces off for Walker.
Oh, and I thought Walker had the immediate look, didn't need to use the counter, but Zam Jones taking it to the rim and passing it off to her counterpart.
Jones going full throttle to find Brooks for 2, and we're tied at 27. Interior pass off the mark. Grabbed by Mallory Collier.
I like that her eyes are looking on the interior to Walker, but you've got to make a better pass.
Brooks just inside the arc, 11 points, double digits now.
This backcourt for NC State certainly turning it on, and Zoe Brooks almost with a steal against Donez.
For the 58th time in her career, Zoe Brooks, a double-digit scorer, and she got the work done in the first half. That side rim contested by Jones on the shot by Twidale.
And here's Zam Jones speeding it up on this end. You see Drew, a triple team, leaving Zoe Brooks wide open for that runner.
Brooks walking it up. To this point, NC State has not turned the ball over.
That's unbelievable.
7 turnovers for Cal so far. Inside of 6 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And 10 points off those turnovers. They've been efficient. Once the ball is in their hands, they're making Cal pay.
Brooks in the paint stumbles. Guarded by Twidale. Pierre driving. Walker was the closest defender.
Pierre showing us a little bit of her ability. Not only can she score on the interior, she can put the ball on the floor and go to the rim.
64% from the free throw line for Khamil Pierre. Played 65 games in 2 seasons at Vanderbilt prior to the transfer. Last year, she averaged a double-double, 20 and 10. And next Sunday, CW Women's Hoops returns as Pitt looks to pull a major upset. They visit number 13 Louisville. CW Women's Hoops, Pitt against number 13 Louisville and Jeff Walls. Next Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. It's only on the CW. They are the highest ranked ACC women's team.
Yeah, you and I called a game where they played Kentucky just about a month ago. And they've been on a roll ever since. After that loss to Kentucky, they haven't lost.
Notre Dame is also a ranked team in the ACC. They have already lost today on the road at Duke, 82-68. North Carolina is the other ranked team in the ACC. That's 8 turnovers now. Brooks, feed from Pierre.
And here's where you missed your point guard. Puff Morris, just a freshman, but she had really started coming along, and Sharman Smith has seen too much.
It is a 9-0 NC State run.
The drive by Pierre and all the way in for Brooks to contend with this Cal team. The other end.
This is a big game atmosphere here at Reynolds Coliseum, Valvano Arena, and Kay Yao Court. And just the second all-time trip for Cal to Raleigh. These teams played in the late 1980s. Last game played here was 1989, a win for NC State against visiting Cal, 100-68.
Wow.
They also played in 1987. That was at Cal, and a win for the Golden Bears, 88-67. And this is their only regular season meeting. And I think the officials have gathered the scorers table. They're just checking on the game clock. We've had a couple of instances where they had to adjust the timing. So that is the reason for our extended timeout at the moment. Gives us a chance to take a look at some of the action from this first half. How about Zoe Brooks, number 35 in white?
She's got 13 points already in this game, a couple rebounds to go along with it. She's been active. She is really the driving force behind what this NC State team does. Coach Moore telling us she has tried to develop more into that leader that she's needed to be. Obviously, with the departure from a couple huge players last year from NC State, she's got some big shoes to fill, but it's been an outstanding season for her thus far.
Such an all-around game as well. She now has 62 assists for the season, beyond her scoring, and that's the best on the team also.
And I like the tandem with she and Zam Jones in the back. Those two, both sides of the ball, are deadly.
At 7:01 in this quarter, the clock stopped during live play for 12 seconds. So we have taken 12 seconds off the game clock. It is now correct and will continue to play.
The update from Cameron Inouye, one of our 3 officials, along with Mark Resch and Meadow Overstreet. Getting that housekeeping taken care of, and Wes Moore, the intense stare of one of the most successful coaches. Right now, among active coaches, second most career wins.
All he needs is that natty. Has been to the Final Four 2 years ago. Sure, he would love to end his career with a national championship.
Shepard had to kick it back out. Shot clock is at 3. Maul passes it into the corner, and the 3 is long from Shepard. Pierre in transition. Not high enough on the square. Samuels comes in to keep the play alive, and Jones misses. And a couple of players getting tangled up. That's Pierre for NC State.
Yeah, Pierre and Maul look like they were both going for that rebound.
Kelly Pierre is going to pick up the foul, her first. So Maul remains in the game. She was slow to get up. NC State led by a point after the first 10 minutes. Last field goal for Cal at the 7:48 mark. It's been a few minutes. Trying to work on the inside. Brooks was defending.
Wow.
Ojukwu picks up the foul, her second.
Yeah, I was surprised by that call, but they switched on the down screen, and that gave Ojukwu the inside or the position toward her player, and they're saying she used a little too much body to get in position, and that's another offensive foul. In the game against UNC, they have NC State rather drew 4 offensive fouls in the first quarter alone.
In the passing lane in the Steel Barns. That is the first turnover of the game for NC State. Shepard, mid-range. Samuels over the top to rip it away. NC State, as Kelly mentioned, to the Final Four in 2024. They lost in the national semifinals to South Carolina in Cleveland. And they've got the basket inside. Pierre, what an addition to the lineup. An 11-0 run for NC State. Barnes put it on the deck and lays it in.
Yeah, Barnes has been playing some good basketball as of late. Just a freshman. Coach Smith saying she's been encouraging her not to play like a freshman, though. She has a lot of ownership on those shoulders, and she's got some tough tasks. She's been playing against Khamil Pierre, rather.
Second effort from Cox. Samuels, who is everywhere, trying to do it herself, and it stays down. 8 points for Samuels.
What a half.
Driving right down the lane, basically uncontested Ojukwu, and she's got 6 coming off the bench.
Yeah, the defense had been so good for NC State, but that time nobody rotated over to contest or try to take a charge for Ojukwu.
Samuels, Cox behind the line for 3. Held that finish for a moment.
Yeah, that's where you got to go after your miss. Don't stand there looking pretty. I love the shot, but go get it.
Maddie Cox, the junior from Flower Mound, Texas, just slightly off the mark for 3. NC State in the game, just 1 of 8 on 3-pointers. That goes out of bounds, and it will be Wolfpack basketball on the 10th turnover over the first half for Coach Smith's team.
And that time the rotation was there. Zam Jones had come quickly to defend that lob pass. Unfortunately, just couldn't hold on to it.
By the way, Kelly, how about the playing career for Sharman Smith at Stanford?
Right.
3
Fantastic.
trips to the Final Four, 95 through 97.
That's a Stanford team I watched as often as they were on television. My parents are Stanford grads. My brother actually went to school with Sharman Smith, and so I used to watch Stanford basketball. I was a big fan.
Deflected away. It'll stay at this end of the court with NC State. She was an assistant at Boston College and Stanford. She's been at Cal for 19 years as an assistant or head coach. Last year they won 25 games to the NCAA tournament. She also was in the WNBA as a player and an assistant coach. Maul tries to go up ahead. That's a tough catch for Barnes. Regroups, gathers and misses. That foul's going to be against the Wolfpack on the offensive glass.
Well, you can tell that Sharman Smith had a premium on rebounding for her team. That was part of the scouting report. Stay active on the glass, and they have done that both on the offensive and defensive end.
Stay tuned for today's halftime show presented by Intuit TurboTax. Talk about that tournament coming up. 49th edition of the ACC Women's Tournament. First half highlights and stats. By the way, it's the first time the tournament will be contested outside of the Carolinas since 1980. And next year, it's coming back to Charlotte for the 50th. Inside Ojukwu, 8 points. What a spark, Kelly.
She's been fantastic.
Twidale runs down the miss.
I think they've just forgotten about Ojukwu. She's not necessarily one of those you circle on the scouting report, so they're taking advantage of the fact that they're off of her. Now Qadence Samuels going to try to stop her.
Inside of a minute to go in our second quarter of the first half. 3 of 9 on three-pointers for Cal, and they've got another.
That's such a big three as this half winds down. Now Cal just down one after going through such a slump, not been able to score.
Maul had the three at the other end, the 7-0 Cal run. They've got the ball back. About a 2-second difference game and shot. It goes right back to Brooks, and an offensive foul is called. Pierre and Brooks in the neighborhood trying to attack the rim. So Pierre picks up the foul, her second. She will go to the Wes Moore bench.
I thought that was the wrong pass. Should have been the long pass to open Twidale, but Zoe Brooks, and you see just behind that player, Pierre, too much body on that screen. And what a turnaround by Cal late in this second quarter.
Double figures for Khamil Pierre for the 13th time this season. She averages almost 15 per game. That is 9th in the conference. On the bench now for the final seconds. Cal 4 of its last 5 field goal attempts. Going to take that clock down here in the second quarter. Shepard trying to drive against Brooks, and both players hit the deck. Brooks will pick up her first personal foul.
And there's the drive. Zoe Brooks just, went for the reach instead of moving her feet to defend. And let's see if they can score off this out-of-bounds play to give themselves the lead going into half.
What a comeback by Cal as NC State had gone on an 11-0 run in this quarter. Final seconds, Twidale gets it away. Back rim. NC State led by a point after 10 minutes. They're so glad that you're with us. Wormy, Deo, and the entire crew on hand here in Raleigh.
Yeah, Cal in this game, certainly, and that's despite 11 first half turnovers. You think if they could just clean that up, remember, they're without their starting point guard in Puff Morris. If they could clean up those turnovers, they've got a shot to win this one.
They had 22 turnovers Thursday at North Carolina. That resulted in 19. Tar Heel Cougars. Jones elevates and misses. Cal has lost 3 of its last 4 games. The win came on December 28th against Cal Poly in decisive fashion, 91-50. 3-3 in their last 6 for the Golden Bear. Shot clock's at 10. Shepard tried to swoop to the rim. Fouled in the process.
Well, they've done a good job trying to post up Walker on the block, but Pierre doing an excellent job defending her. Goes to the strong side block. It opens up the weak side block for Shepard to take that drive.
Just 2 free throws attempted in the first half for Cal. Season 3 of the CW's hit series returns this month. He's a cop, she's a con, but together they're unstoppable. Season 3 of Wild Cards premieres Monday, January 26th, 8/7 Central, right here on the CW. Catch up on seasons 1 and 2 now on the CW app. You see the drought for NC State.
Yeah, that's where the ball needs to go.
Pierre. She was well defended by Walker, and now Pierre is down behind the play, and the officials will stop the action.
I'm wondering if she's has a problem with the contact or maybe got some contact to the eye. So Pierre getting the ball on the low block, turns, and looks like, yep, on that rebound, an elbow comes down and hits Pierre in the eye. Oh.
So that was Sakima Walker who was defending for Cal. And as they tend to Pierre, we will step aside for just a moment in the early stages of our third quarter here on the CW.
The previous play is under review for an unobserved.
34 years as the head coach. and over 700 career wins.
A legend. There was hardly a coach that was respected more than Kay Yao in this business, and a great block and retrieved possession by Maddie Cox.
Khamil Pierre walked over to the bench under her own strength in the aftermath of that previous sequence. Attempted save by Collier. Couldn't do it. Right to Maul.
You got 5 on 4 right now.
Walker on the offensive glass against 2 players. Sends it right back out. Twidale.
And there is Zam Jones at her best.
Made it look easy.
Running the lane in transition and getting the assist from Zoe Brooks.
7 points now for Zam Jones, sophomore from Bethel, North Carolina, just north of Greenville, North Carolina. Walker turns and shoots. High arcing shot, and she hits.
Walker, nice. She's got a great skill set. Can hit that 15-foot jumper, not really a three-point threat, but she can put the ball on the floor, and she's got a great post-move package.
Collier with the move at the other end, and Walker held her ground.
Remember, no Tilda Trieger, so Collier getting some more minutes.
Barnes turns off the glass, pass Cox for 2.
Oh, I like her game. Barnes now in double figures, 11 points for her, 4 of 8 from the field. Just a freshman.
On the 7th time this season, she has hit double digits for the freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas. Samuels past 3 defenders, got the shot away and was fouled. Walker has picked up her 3rd personal. So Pierre coming back in after taking inadvertent contact from Walker under the bucket, leading the nation in rebounding.
So you got Pierre coming in and Walker going out.
Pierre also has 8 double-doubles this season. She's gone for 20 points or more 4 times. Samuels at the line for NC State, and 9 points now for Samuels.
We talked about Pierre last season at Vanderbilt. She had a game against Evansville where she had 42 points and 18 boards.
And the 18 boards isn't even her career high.
20. She just had it
against Green Bay.
Yeah,
yep.
Exactly.
NC State now from the free throw line, 8 of 11. Cal turns it over. On the run, Brooks.
Oh.
Around the rim and out.
Zoe Brooks and everyone else in the gym is wondering how in the world that did not fall, but Cal now with another opportunity. They just will not go away. I think that has got to be encouraging if you're Sharman Smith and thinking about the way that UNC game went. They have put up a fight here today.
Twidale may have been deflected. Ojukwu.
It's been plays like that for Cal. Rebounds, finishing. They have been playing through contact. Ojukwu's come in and played well. Cox cannot finish.
That's now one of their last 11 field goals for NC State after the Cox miss. They work the perimeter. Twidale into the double team, knocked away. Pierre grabs it. Wrestling for the basketball with Maul.
That's what I mean, the extra effort. Pierre gets possession, and immediately you've got 2 Cal Bears all over her trying to tie it up.
Anxious moments for both coaches, arms folded and focused, with Cal taking a 1-point lead after trailing by 1 after the 2nd quarter and into halftime. Pierre on the looping pass, drew the double, back to Brooks off the front rim.
And that was Ojukwu who partially tipped that ball as Zoe Brooks was going up. That looked like it was going to be an easy 2.
Twidale guarded by Pierre. Cox with the help. Ojukwu is open.
I think she's had a smile on her face the entire game. She has been a joy to watch.
She's got 12 points. Jones tries to turn the corner and give it up to Brooks. Almost lost the handle. Right back to the rim for Brooks.
And that should have been Ojuklu's help, but she's so concerned about Khamil Pierre on that block that she leaves it wide open for Brooks.
15 points now for Zoe Brooks. She is the leading scorer for NC State in this game. Traveling. And turnover number 14 in the game for Cal.
Ojuklu doing all the little things, gets the tip on the Zoe Brooks attempt at the layup, and then takes it on her own. In and up for Cal. They're up 1. Said, you know, I'm always the kind of coach that's going to go back to rebounding. Well, that has been where they have been deficient today. 31-17, Cal with the advantage. Barnes and Mall have 19 rebounds combined. NC State 17 total.
After they had out-rebounded Stanford Thursday on this court, 42-35 in a winning effort, and held the Cardinal to 46 points inside, and it's Pierre. That's
a great play call by Wes Moore with Walker on the bench. You've got a very undersized Ojukwu playing against Pierre. I'd go to her all day.
13 points now for Pierre. Closing into the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. Twidale against Jones. One-on-one. Got Jones in the air for a second time. And contact on the play, despite the protest from Jones and most of the folks inside the building this afternoon. First foul on Jones.
Cal's been patient on the offensive end. In fact, a few times I thought they have overpassed, but that time they are content to bring it out late into the shot clock, and then Twidale just takes the drive.
Kickoff 2026 with NXT New Year's Evil on the CW. The superstars of NXT collide in a night built for action, shocks, and must-see moments. One night, no limits, pure evil. NXT New Year's Evil Tuesday, right here on the CW. .205 as a team from the line. One more for Twidale. Junior from Queensland, Australia. 1 of 2. She's up to 9 points in the game. She is the leading scorer this season for Cal. She averages just over 13 points per game. Jones, a wicked crossover and giveaway underneath to Pierre.
Second straight look at Khamil Pierre in the NC State offense. Ojukwu tries to come over and help and come back, and just too late.
15 points now for Khamil Pierre. Barnes lines it up. Cox grabs it for NC State.
I don't mind that shot, but again, I thought Twidale should have taken that layup on her own. It's another instance where I think Cal is overpassing.
Samuels to Pierre. Wide open.
It's been a one-woman wrecking crew after the timeout, and now the Wolfpack fans are getting loud.
Shot clock is at 10 for the Golden Bears. Trying to work off the screen for Mall. NC State basketball. And Pierre has the last 6 points for the Wolfpack.
There's the look inside at Pierre. Almost does not maintain possession, but gets it and over the defense, and then another bounce pass and reverse layup for Khamil Pierre. 3 straight buckets, and now Walker comes back into the game. No surprise.
14 points, Kelly, for NC State off of 15 Cal turnovers.
They've used this high ball screen with either Zam Jones and Pierre or Zoe Brooks, and again, it is a perfect look inside, and Pierre just going to work.
She's got 8 straight points for the Pack by 6. Cox defending Barnes. Cut her off on the baseline. Shot clock's at 7. Small couldn't get the shot away. Missed from the corner, Barnes. Four of 15 on threes for Cal. 1:30 to go in the quarter.
Go right back at her.
Jones accelerates and lays it in.
Well, that's what happens when you got that many points combined. Nobody's coming to help off, and NC State now on an 8-0 run, thanks in large part to Khamil Pierre. So when Khamil Pierre has got bucket after bucket, you can't help off of her. So what do? You drive on the opposite side. Great look by Zam Jones in the finish. Nobody comes over to help.
9 points in the game for Jones. Second leading scorer on the team for Wes Moore. Just over 14 points per game for number 3 in the middle of that huddle. NC State went on the road earlier this season, Kelly. What a game at Oklahoma. That was part of the ACC SEC Challenge. Went to overtime and a loss 103-98. You know, coach said he may have overscheduled, but at the same time, maybe he's prepared his team for the stretch in ACC play.
Yeah, I think that's the way you want to look at it. They did start off with a tough schedule. They beat Tennessee and then lost to USC by 1. They lost to TCU by 10. I think the surprise for everybody was that loss to Rhode Island. But this is a team that's been playing well. 7-1 in their last 8 games.
And 3-0 in conference play, including a couple of home wins in the ACC. Remember, they're on a 14-game winning streak against ACC opponents here on K-Yow Court. Final minute of the third quarter. Jones looking over at Coach Moore. Jones will let it fly. Offline. Pierre, offensive glass. Samuels wasting no time for 3, and the largest lead of the afternoon for NC State. Tie up underneath. Ball rolls to Jones. Shovels it to Cox. Twidale comes away with it. Final 15 seconds of the quarter.
This is an important bucket. Cal needs this one.
Maul for 3. Walker got the rebound, couldn't get a shot away. NC State goes on a 5th.
In this quarter, again, their defense stepping up big.
And an 11-0 run to close out the third as we start the fourth. Cal in search of its first road win of the season after playing at North Carolina earlier this week in a losing effort. That comes up short. Well defended by Cox. It was Barnes on the turnaround. How about NC State, Kelly? Only 4 players have scored in the game. 19 from Pierre, 15 from Brooks, 13 from Samuels, and 9 from Jones.
Not a single bench point as Cox does not see the backdoor happening. And just their 3rd turnover.
You would think they've turned it over 30 times in the game if you look at Wes Moore.
I was going to say, is that the response after the 3rd turnover?
Ball back to Cal. Early stages of our 4th quarter. So glad that you've been with us this afternoon. What an exciting game between the Golden Bears and the Wolfpack. Quite a chapter to their brief history between the two teams. Shot clock down to 3 for Twidale, and she is ripping the ropes for Cal. 12 points in the game.
The defense was so good for NC State. People in help side not giving Cal any daylight, and then Twidale, well off the three-point line, knocks it down.
Third three in the game for Twidale.
I wondered if Cal was going to come out with a new defense. The zone did not matter as Kaishi Lunan gets her first points of the night.
And it's a three-pointer. Her 13th of the season. She shoots 48% from beyond the arc. And all of a sudden she is heard from here in this fourth and will stay at this end of the floor. Cal ball.
So late in the shot clock, directing traffic, and just puts the three up right over Kaishi Lunan. And you know what? Lunan says, I can do the same thing. Up and in for number 7 in white.
Didn't we just say NC State has 0 points from the bench?
You did.
Well, now they have 3.
Kaishi, not to be confused with Kyrie. That's where she gets her name from. Her dad named her.
So we will take a quick timeout from Reynolds Coliseum. 59-48, NC State in front of the CW.
Currently, the call on the floor is blue ball, and it's under appeal by NC State.
Great opportunity right now for Cal, having an extended timeout to draw up a good out-of-bounds play.
Bears trying to fight back from yet another run by NC State. They've done it seemingly in every quarter. That'll bounce off. Grabbed by Pierre.
Great look. Had 2 3-point shooters open, and Twidale finds Barnes, just can't put it down.
6 rebounds in the game for Khamil Pierre, the leading rebounder in the nation. She averages just over 12 rebounds per game. Lunan nowhere to go. Pierre is just inside the line. She'll drive and have it blocked by Walker. 5 left on the shot clock. 7:47 on the game clock in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, great defensive stop there. Tries to hook it in, and Walker just too much length.
For NC State, an 11-2 run in the first quarter, 11-0 run in the second quarter, and they also did that in the third as well. Trying to beat the shot clock. Lunan's shot did not hit the rim. It is a shot clock violation against NC State.
And since Walker's been in, they have not found a lot of success, especially on the interior. Pierre has not scored again. I think that is just too much size right now. That's the matchup that they wanted.
Walker is going to pick up the foul on the screen as Samuels hit the deck.
And just as I say that, I think Walker's going back out of the game. That's her 4th foul. So on the screen, moves into position. You've got to be set first and waiting for that defender to come into the screen. Now Walker has taken a seat on the bench, and Ojukwu will come in and try to defend Pierre.
6 points and 6 rebounds for Walker, now sitting on the bench. Ojukwu has been a spark off of the bench for Cal. 12 points in the game. And 6 of 6 from the floor. She has all of their bench points for the Bears.
You got to assume, yeah, they're going to keep looking for Pierre on the roll. Better defense there by Ojukwu as the shot clock is winding down.
Jones trying to beat the clock. Stepping back for 3. Sam Jones, money.
Just as it looked like Cal was maintaining a great 30-second defensive possession, and Sam Jones just shoots it in her eye.
And now it is the largest lead of the game. Easy bucket. Twidale shed the defender and laid it in. 14 points. Twidale.
And there's the zone again for Cal.
Brooks stepping through the double team, lost the handle to Barnes. Up ahead, Shepard running the floor. Tried to shovel that one to Maul, and a foul was called against NC State, and Jones has her second.
So another great job getting up the floor. And I know Miracle Shepard wants some points, but she's done well assisting. She's not going to get an assist on that one because of the foul, but she's the one who ran the floor, caught the very difficult pass, and then swept it up to Maul.
Eight points now from Maul.
Two points away from a double-double.
Already has 10 boards. And that cuts the lead to 10 inside of 6.5 minutes to go in the fourth.
1-3-1 zone.
Fourth quarter was the problem at North Carolina for Cal. Earlier this week, outscored 21-8 by North Carolina in the 71-55 win from Tar Heels against visiting Cal. Shot clock's at 8. Inside, deflected away, the pass intended for Cox.
Great rotation by Barnes, gets her hands on it, and now Cal with another opportunity to cut into this lead.
Only meeting this season between Cal and NC State. In the first visit by Cal as a member of the ACC to Raleigh. Here once before in the late 80s. Shepard on the inbounds. 11 to shoot. Ojukwu over Pierre.
What an athletic move by Ojukwu. Didn't have her first two options. Used the step back to power up and over her defender. Can Cal get another stop?
6-0 run by the Golden Bears, and Ojukwu is 7 of 7 from the floor. Quick passing, NC State. Brooks will drive and score.
And that's how you beat a zone. Penetration, getting the gaps. Zoe Brooks into the paint for 2.
17 points for Brooks after a game high 18 points in the win against Stanford this week. Twidale. Pierre had it for a moment. Knocked away. Barnes off the glass.
This Cal team has not quit.
13 points for Barnes, 7th time this season to double digits. 4.5 minutes to go. Samuels rims out the 3.
You half expected that one to go down with the way she's been playing in this game. The Cal defense getting something out of it. That 1-3-1 zone has been tough for NC State.
Ojukwu turns into the defender, Cox. She got the rebound, and then Maul and her teammate Shepard around Cox. Foul on Maul, her first. NC State trying to keep it perfect at home against ACC opponents.
And Cal back to a man. Like the adjustments made by Sharman Smith.
Wins against Stanford, Georgia Tech, and at Miami for NC State. Samuels misfires. Easy board for Maul.
NC State's got to be careful. You want to make Cal work. Get back inside. Get the ball to Pierre. She's not playing against Walker.
Barnes for Cal has a double-double, her first of the season. And she springs free on the baseline and lays it in. 15 points, Taylor Barnes.
Goes back door against Maddie Cox.
"15 points, 10 boards, Barnes in the double-double. Jones rattled that one. Up ahead, stolen by Jones. Brooks.
Such a difficult turnover for Cal. That's going to be one that they may go back and want back. An errant pass turns into 2 points against this NC State team, and a second pass that gets overturned, and NC State again with possession.
Turnover number 18 in the game, and 21 points off of those Cal turnovers. Sitting on the bench is Walker. 6.6 boards, 4 personal fouls. 2.5 minutes to go in regulation. 66-58.
Yeah, I think the ball's got to go into Khamil Pierre's hands. The high ball screen.
Jones missed on the drive. Cal got the ball back. And then a foul committed by Brooks. That'll be her third.
I actually wondered if they were going to call an offensive foul there as she extended her arm, but Zoe Brooks in the way. Yeah, you see that arm extended by Maul, but Brooks probably just too much contact.
Just over 2 minutes to go. Twidale guarded by Brooks. Missed the shot from close range.
Everything but the bucket.
Fouls to give for Cal. Only 2 team fouls in the quarter. They want to try to start putting NC State at the free throw line. Shepard, third personal.
There's foul number 1, Miracle Shepard. Shepard's third personal, third team foul.
This Cal team has done well in this fourth quarter. They have defended, they have switched up defenses, made NC State have to think on the offensive end, but they've just not been able to get those finishes.
Double team on Pierre, had to kick it out. Brooks. Pass intercepted. Barnes. Twidale thought about stepping into a 3. Tried a difficult interior pass, and it's taken away by Samuels.
It's always 1 second too late. The player is there, and then the pass goes instead of being there on the catch. Yeah, and I am wondering when this foul situation could start. Trying to get NC State on the line, and there's one.
Shepard reaching in on Jones, her fourth.
There's foul number 1, Miracle Shepard.
Shepard, who has not scored in the game, 0 for 4 from the floor. Does have 3 rebounds, committing the foul. Shepard's a double-digit scorer on the season, third on the team, over 10 points per game. And now she goes to the bench.
That just was not her night, her day rather, offensively. She did everything else. Her defense was superb, has 5 assists in this game, but Cal just needed her to score.
McCallop in for Cal, number 12.
1 minute.
Final minute.
1 minute.
Shot clock is down to 6 for Jones. Drops it off for Pierre. Easy layup. Jones behind the play. She is clutching her right ankle behind the play. 21 points for Pierre. Jones still down behind the play. Maul. Barnes. 3. McCallop just into the game. Offensive glass. And now they're going to stop play as Jones is still down in some serious discomfort. She made a wonderful pass to an open Pierre, and then immediately started clutching her ankle.
Yeah. Oh. You see the twist. The pass perfect to Khamil Pierre. But Sam Jones in some serious pain right now on the floor. Play continued, and that is why Wes Moore was irate with the officials.
By the way, Kelly, that was the 7th assist of the game for Jones. Coach warning the officials to stop play a little bit sooner, as Jones is going to be escorted all the way back to the locker room. So Pierre, who was the beneficiary of that pass, 21 points, and that leads all scorers. And for Khamil Pierre, over 20 points in a game for the 5th time this season. And Coach Moore is still upset about the continuation of play. It is a 10-point lead, just over 39 seconds to go. Twidale on the drive. She'll go to the free throw line. We are not done yet, Kelly Deo.
That's right. Lulu Twidale just continues to lead this team, trying to put them on her back. And I think for Twidale, it's just been that she's not been able to have that high field goal percentage. She's just 5 of 16 in this one, has missed some close range shots. 3 of 11 from three-point line. Made the free throws.
16 points for Lulu Twidale, the junior from Australia. Cuts the lead to 8 with the free throws. 35.9 seconds to go. Take a look at today's player of the game. It's brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive offers 24/7 protection when you bundle auto, home, and motorcycle. Learn more at progressive.com.
Well, everything in this NC State team is initiated by Zoe Brooks, and she was able to perform at a high level today. 19 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, had a great shooting percentage, did everything she needed to do, got stops on the defensive end. She's carried this NC State team and put players in positions to score. Many of those assists came to Pierre, some to Samuels, some to Zam Jones. She's just been all over the court.
Zoe Brooks with 18 points in the win against Stanford on Thursday at home, and now 19 today. Second in the scoring column behind Pierre with 21 to lead everybody this afternoon. Twidale with her 16. She is the leading scorer right now for Cal, trailing with 35.9 seconds to go in regulation. What an afternoon in Raleigh. Cal on a little Carolina swing this week with a loss at North Carolina.
The officials whistled to have a conversation with each other. Cal takes that opportunity to say something else to her team. Sharman Smith does. Man-to-man now on the out-of-bounds play. I imagine switch on everything right now.
Barnes picking up the foul on the inbounds. Her first. It's going to result in shots for NC State. And again, the Wolfpack doing this without Tilda Trieger, their sophomore post player, who had a double-double at Cal last year when NC State went to Cal and lost in that first meeting as ACC opponents. So Cox is at the free throw line. Maddie Cox, the junior. 81st game in college for Cox.
Trying to get her first points of the day. She was perfect in that game against Stanford. 3 of 3. Had a sweet fake and then crossover to hit a shot.
Came off the bench in that game, Kelly, and started today.
In place of Tilda Trieger, has had, though, 2 starts prior to this one. It says in the notes that she got a lot of inspiration from Zaza last year, saying, hey, wait your turn. And I love that Cox didn't leave NC State, knew that this was the place that she can be developed. And she's been a huge help to this Wolfpack squad.
Isaiah James, who was the leading scorer last year for NC State. 1 of 2 for Cox. About a 5-second difference between game and shot for Cal.
Wolfpack foul number 35, Zoe Brooks.
4th foul on Brooks. 19 points in the game on 8 of 16 shooting and 4 rebounds. 3 assists as well, stuffing the stat sheet. Maul on the inbounds. Cal's got to make it happen in a hurry. Twidale. Past a double team, too strong, and Pierre has the rebound. 7 boards for Pierre.
And that play is a little bit what I've been talking about. Everything but the bucket. Twidale, just such a good player with the ball in her hands, weaving between defenses. Just could not get the shots to fall.
Second foul on Twidale. More women's basketball next Sunday. Pitt at Louisville. And we've got 18.7 seconds here. Lunan at the free throw line. Four points now for Kaishi Lunan, freshman from Goodyear, Arizona.
Yeah, they love the way that this young player has come in and just continued to want to develop. She's a hard worker. She's the one you'll see diving on the floor for loose balls.
Like a lane violation against Cal. Five points for Lunan off of the NC State bench. Quick timeout on the floor here with 18.4 seconds to go. And an 11-point lead for NC State. Led by as many as 14 here in this second half. Told you everybody's in action today. How about Duke at home against number 18 Notre Dame, and Stanford in overtime.
Wow.
Against North Carolina, number 16 in the nation.
And then we've got one in OT right now, Virginia and Florida State. Let's go ACC. Clemson over Miami, Syracuse over Wake. Wow. Some good basketball being played right now in the ACC.
It all will culminate with the 49th ACC Women's Tournament in Duluth, Georgia. That's early March. Last year, Cal made it to the quarters of the tournament, losing to Notre Dame. NC State made it to the title game, but lost to Duke in that championship matchup in Greensboro. Final seconds here in Raleigh. Poked away Brooks. And then stolen away by Brooks to put the punctuation on this one. Pierre. And the final seconds will tick off the clock. It was close at halftime, a 1-point game. The second half belongs to Wes Moore at NC State.